Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to Not World of Tanks. Due to technical issues, Wargaming had updated the game and none of the replay files work anymore. We're having another stab at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Starting with a chance encounter by the roadside just outside of Troskowitz.
Goodbye.
What on earth are you doing here?
Nothing.
What's with that hole there?
What about it?
You've got a body in there, haven't you? Admit it.
I ain't got nothing in there.
Then what are you up to here?
Look, I mean no disrespect, but I ain't having the best of days. So, thanks for stopping by, but no need to tarry for my sake.
Well, I can try being charismatic or authoritarian, and I've got a better chance of success with the second option.
Fine. But you're coming with me.
And why would I do that?
Because you look suspicious. You could be a poacher or a killer. What do I know? I have to hand you over to the guards. They'll know what to do with you.
Hold on. Is this about the hole? That surely won't be necessary.
That depends on what the hole's for.
It's not for anything. It's an empty hole. All right. Fine. I'll explain. I'm Bolek.
And I'm Henry.
See, what I'm doing here is... How do I... Sakura. How to explain this? Well, it's just... The hand of God dragged me here to look for the Holy Grail.
Are you taking the piss?
You're looking for the Holy Grail? Here, of all places?
Aye. It should be around here somewhere. Somewhere in the area.
Are you a complete lunatic? How the hell did you come up with such a crock of shit? Why here, of all places?
Because I met this old monk the other day. He wasn't entirely right in the head. He kept muttering to himself and looked the worse for wear. Not a pleasant sight, but I felt sorry for him. So I shared some wine and a piece of bacon with him, and he gave me a parchment with writing on it.
And can you even read in the first place?
You can read?
Of course I can't read. I don't have time for that kind of tomfoolery. But I know a scribe over in Kuttenberg, and he read it to me. And what it said near knocked me on my arse.
Let me guess. Something about the Grail.
Aye! That filthy scrap of parchment described exactly where the chalice of Christ was hidden.
Seriously?
Well, I mean, not actually exactly. It was more like a bunch of verses, but it's a great clue.
Really? Do tell.
You think I'd let you in on it?
I would like a look at this parchment, and my best option is if I try to be chivalrous about it. So we're going to go with that.
And what are you going to do when you find the Grail?
Well, then I'll have it, won't I?
They'll come after you. Word will get out that you have it. If you're lucky, they'll offer to buy it for a pittance. If you're not, they'll cut your throat while you sleep. How long do you think you'll last?
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Now, if you tell me what you know, I'll introduce you to people who'd happily give you a castle filled with gold in exchange for the Grail. And I'll make sure you live to enjoy it.
You might be right. I could use a partner who knows his stuff. All right, listen. The monk gives me this parchment and it says, "From 2 magical mountains, gazing to the heavens. Like a thirsty pilgrim I tread the trail. Across the verdant valley to land's end. There shall I drink from the spring that will not suffer my breath to fail."
I'm going to need to take a look at this.
Let me see that parchment.
Here. Can you make anything out of it?
It looks like it's been torn out of a book.
I hadn't thought of that.
Part of the rhyme might be missing. Or maybe there's a map to go with it.
Of course! A map! Why didn't I think of that?
Are you all right?
I might know who has the map. 1,000 thanks, Henry. You can keep that parchment. You've been a big help.
Well, good luck then.
Take care for now.
So, that was Bolek. Some drunken priest down on his luck sold him a parchment ripped out of a book with a poem on it. And he thinks it's the secret to finding the Holy Grail. This is not the last time we're going to meet Bolek on our travels. And he's not a bad sort. I mean, he's a decent bloke, you know, he's not going to harm anybody. He certainly wasn't burying a body by the side of the road. But Bolek's problem is he's a bit too trusting, and he'll believe anything that he's told. Oh well, we'll be seeing more of him later. So, do you remember a couple of days ago, I was running around the woods at night trying to find and rescue a drunken gamekeeper, and in the bandit camp that I ended up at, one of them had this map on them. You can see the location of the camp in the top left, and it's indicating a tree in a sort of branch in the river. I mean, river's a bit of a strong term. It's a stream and a marsh. But you can see where I am here on the map. To the southeast is this enemy camp. Down to the southwest is a hunting area and the marsh and swamp where I found the gamekeeper, and up to the northwest is the bandit camp where they'd taken his horse. So if I follow the stream down to the area where it branches off into the swamp and I look for any trees, buried in the base of those trees, or tree, I should find a treasure chest, because there wasn't an awful lot of good stuff in the bandit or poachers camp, except for this map, and it looks like they weren't actually keeping their stuff in the camp itself. They'd stashed it at the base of this tree. So from the gamekeeper's temporary overnight camp, I'm heading south and following the stream. And at some point it's going to branch and head off into the swamp at large. And I'm looking for a tree. There's an anthill over there on the right. Now, I mean, this is the place where we rescued the gamekeeper, and we were following his directions up past the anthill, past the pile of stones, in order to get to his overnight camp. So let's stop and have a look around here, because there's a tree over there. And there's nothing buried in the base of this tree. Although the stream isn't exactly branching here, is it? Let's take a, I mean, there aren't that many trees by the side of the stream, so it's worth checking them all out. I mean, we are kind of in the middle of a forest, but the stream itself is... Hello, hello, hello. There it is. We've got you. Inside this chest, which has a hard lock, but because I've got the key from the bandit, I don't need to pick the lock. We have 300 groschen, which is nice. But more important than that, we have a golden crucifix that's worth 1,430. I'm never going to get that much for it, but it's still worth a few bob.
The map didn't lead here, but it's possible it washed up over here.
And it's also worth pointing out that the chest isn't exactly in the spot indicated on the map. There had actually been some heavy rains, and it had washed a little bit further downstream. So, not in the exact position indicated on the map, just, well, I've just shown you exactly where it is. So, if you've picked that map up from the bandit or poachers camp, and you're thinking, this map is useless, there's nothing here. That's correct, there is nothing there. It's washed a little bit further downstream. Just keep going downstream and checking around the bases of the trees, and you should find the chest. Well, anyway, with my pockets now jingling with cash, and my back covered in the finest of stolen clothing, I think it's about time we got on with the plot. I need to speak to Lord von Berghoff and deliver the message that we were sent here to deliver. When Ant and I did eventually turn up at Castle Trotsky, with most of our party murdered by Rock Tower Pond and the two of us dressed in beggars' rags, they understandably didn't believe that we noblemen tossed a bucket of shit over us and threw us out. So the only chance I have of even getting close to Lord von Berghoff is at the wedding between the daughter of the Troskowitz bailiff and the son of Lord Semine. And there are two ways of getting in there. One via the good graces of the blacksmith in Chakov, or via Miller Crazel in Lower Semine. But Miller Crazel wants me to do something for him first, which is why we're here, talking to the gravedigger outside Troskowitz.
I'm Henry, and you must be the local gravedigger, right?
Ignatius, master of the sod, at your service. Looking for a final resting place, are you? Or do you need to bury a dead goat?
I'm more interested in the grave-digging profession as a whole.
Ah, once you try it, you'll never want to do nothing else till the day you die.
You got a big cemetery here. Pretty nice, too.
Ain't it? But being the gravedigger, I'll never have a place of my own here. They'll throw me by the wall like a dog and bury me without ceremony. But when I'm dead, I won't care. If it was up to me, I'd even bury the suicides in hallowed ground. We're all equal before death and the Lord. This game of better and worse places of final rest don't count for nothing.
What's the story with the dead people?
The story? They're dead. What more is there to tell?
But you said there's been a lot of people dying around here recently, right?
Well, it ain't usual for people to get offed by the cartload out here in the sticks, if you ask me. What do you reckon?
I don't know. Hadn't really thought about it that way.
That might be the reason, then, hey?
What?
Look, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying there's a lot of people dying. If things keep up like this, I'll be out of work in no time. There'll be no one left to bury.
Being a gravedigger must be a lonely job, eh? What are your duties?
Funny a young lad like you is so interested in grave digging. Not something you see every day.
Well, I'm only asking. No real reason.
That figures. Youngsters these days wouldn't know hard work if it bit 'em on the arse. It's no wonder I can't find any help.
Are you offering me a job?
No. I'm giving you a warning. You ain't cut out for this trade.
And how do you know that?
You've got that look. I can spot it a mile away.
Could you be more specific?
You just aren't cut out for it, and that's that. A gravedigger needs passion. A sense of duty ain't enough. It's a service, a labour of love, and the meaning of life all in one, lad.
Ignatius, I'm going to need your help.
Of course. How many are there? Where do you want to bury them? Shall we grind the teeth up, or do you want to take them away in your purse?
None of that. I have a different, slightly unusual request. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me. We're looking for a saltpeter pit.
From Lower Semine? What pit?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What's it supposed to be? A pit to hell?
Yeah, something like that. At night, you hear the cries of tormented souls and catch the whiff of sulphur.
Well, that I can't help you with.
Not to worry. It's actually just a hole with some rotting carcasses in it. These white crystals form in it. And that's exactly what we're after.
You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about salty Peter? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really? That was easier than I thought.
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with something first. I have some collections from some Slatigo farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it a bit easy.
You want me to help you with your grave-digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella. You'll be a good helper.
I have a better idea. You tell me where I can find that pit, and I'll give you a nice piece of fresh meat for it.
I won't say no to that. Show me what you have.
Bonnie did say to bring him some meat, and I did stop off at the butcher's on the way here exactly because of this.
Oh, aye, fresh meat. What a feast that'll make. Now, listen closely. That pit of yours lies at the end of a long journey that we'll take together on my wagon.
So you got meat out of me for nothing?
When I see how much you lot in Lower Semine are interested in it, I'm not just going to hand it to you on a plate. But thanks for the meat, and don't worry about a thing. Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services. And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with their animal carcasses themselves.
Of course, I understand. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honour I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honour if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with my boys Snorter and Dragonfly here? Nice and early, at daybreak.
Let's get this over with then.
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That's between night and day. Do you understand?
I understand. I'll come at dawn.
So, have to come back in the morning to help Ignatius when he goes off on his morning rounds. As well as the gravedigger, he's also the Knacker, who's the guy responsible for disposing of dead animals. And, well, I mean, the whole reason we're doing this is because Miller Kreisel needs some saltpeter, which I think is potassium nitrate. I'm going to have to look that up. Alright, just googled it. Yep, saltpeter is potassium nitrate. It's used for all kinds of things, but primarily things like fertilizer and explosives. Miller Kreisel's fed me some cock and bull story about how he needs the saltpeter and the lead balls that we discovered at the bottom of a sack of flour in order to raise a flour golem to work around the mill. To this end, he's had me stealing all sorts of stuff using his thieving gear, which was stinking of sulphur and all burnt and scorched around the edges apparently when he left it at the bathhouse just outside the Gelioff Wagoner's Inn. And now he's got me looking for saltpeter or potassium nitrate or an explosive compound. He's making black powder, isn't he? He's making gunpowder. He won't admit it, of course, so instead he's feeding me this bullshit story about how he's creating a golem made of flour. Because, you know, he's a miller, so a flour golem. I mean, yeah, right. Golems were a thing. I mean, not really, but they were a Hebrew thing, although they were usually made of clay or stone. Certainly not flour, but I guess he thinks that I'll fall for it and it's slightly more
Blessings
believable
to
if it's
you.
a flour golem since he's a miller.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this, but let's get going.
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. You don't need your horse. I'll stable him here. It'll be heaven for him. In any case, heaven's always close here. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us.
So, follow Ignatius to the wagon, accompany the gravedigger on his rounds. I mean, it could be worse. He could have me digging actual graves. Actually, I think that might be better. Because we're not off on his morning rounds as a gravedigger, we're off on his morning rounds as a Knacker, heading around the local farms and disposing of all their dead animals. Unclean work. I mean, jobs like this, gravedigger, Knacker, executioner, not popular jobs, but they all needed doing.
Come on then, get a move. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, not exactly. I'm not even from this region. I'm only doing some work for the miller.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that Bonnie of yours belong to that gang too?
Unfortunately, she does. Crazel ordered Bonnie and her accomplice Zinnek to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties. And when they had a chance to loiter about in the yards here in the region, well, they made good use of the opportunity to line their purses.
Ay, ay, ay. What have I gotten myself into in my twilight years? Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
Alright. Where on the left? I don't see anything.
I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally, at least we're not
Right.
doing the road.
So he set a trap inside this old ruined farm for a wolf, and then a deer fell into it. Okay. Alright, here it is. How the hell am I getting in here? Surely there's a... I think I've probably gone around the wrong side, because if there was a way in, it would be from the road, wouldn't it? Although I can probably get in around the back. I mean, the fence along with everything else in here has collapsed. So where's this deer? He said he set the trap inside the house. Yeah, it would have been easier getting in here from the road. But, oh shit. Mutt? A little help? Good boy. Alright. Well, he did say he set the trap for the wolf. It's just the deer got there first. Since I'm here, I'm going to butcher the wolf. You don't get much of value from them. But you can turn in the ears to gamekeepers for a bounty. And you can use the fangs in alchemy. So, where's this deer? Has somebody been setting up camp outside? Oh no, it's just an abandoned wagon. And a saw. Some stuff over here. Work axe. Some bandages. Oh, a marigold decoction. I'll take that. That's a healing potion. Right, anyway. I'm looking for the carcass of a dead deer that made it into the house and got into the trap that Ignatius set. So there's the house. Where's this deer? Lockpick. Very hard. Are you shitting me? Because there's no deer out here. I'm surely not expected to be able to pick a very hard lock. Because there's no way around there. I don't see a way of climbing up. Actually, you know what? While we're here,
Take it.
while this wolf meat's still fresh, let's feed Mutt. There you go, Mutt. Good boy. So let me see if I've got this straight. Ignatius set a trap for a wolf inside this ruined farmhouse, and then he locked the fucking door. And this is a very hard lock. I mean, I've managed to advance my lockpicking skill to the level where I can actually attempt a very hard lock. But, yeah. That doesn't mean I can do it. I've broken one lockpick. Oh my god. You can see how this does get easier as you advance your lockpicking skill. The margin for error gets a little bit more generous, but it's still tricky because there's no visual guide. You have to try to keep the lock thing in the same position as you rotate the lock. And there's no visual guide on a very hard lock to assist you. Oh, yes, did it! I used a perk, Toolmaster. I don't even know what... Oh, right, cool. I got an extra lockpick back.
Oh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
I'll have gotten a hefty chunk of thievery and lockpicking XP as well for cracking a very hard lock, so that's good. There has to be another way in here that doesn't involve picking the lock, because it's a very hard lock. And this is still early on in the game. I mean, I've only just advanced my lockpicking skill to the level where I can even attempt a very hard lock. I'm impressed with myself that I actually did it. That's my first very hard lockpick, by the way. But there must be another way in that I just missed. Because there's always more than one way to go about solving a problem in one of these games. I think I just did it the hard way. But hey, at least I did it. Oh, where's Ignatius gone? Oh, there. Hang on. Who's this? He's not in trouble, is he? Oh, shit, he is. Well, it's a good job I'm armed and armoured. Let's go and see what the problem is.
I've no idea what you're on about, fella.
Put that carcass down and get over here. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
What's going on, Ignatius?
Ah, I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thieving around here. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
2 stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Covered in wolf blood as I am, I'm probably not making the best of impressions, but this still does seem like my best option.
Take a good look at me. Do I look like a thief? Or more like a commonplace, maybe just slightly grubby, hired hand? At this rate, you could blame any old peasant who's grimy after a hard day's work.
I don't know. I don't reckon I've ever seen a real thief up close.
Ask around about me and you'll find out everyone knows I can't stand a liar. I'll keep my promises and show up on time. So enough talk and let's carry on to where duty calls us.
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them 2 thieves, you tell us right away. Got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas.
Yeah, they're talking about Bonnie
Maybe.
and, I can't
What's
remember
next?
the name of the other guy.
Are we going?
They both work for Kreisel.
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on and let's go.
Because they were originally trying to get saltpeter by scraping around pigsties. Because the saltpeter crystals, the potassium nitrate, it forms pretty much anywhere where there's rotten meat. So, carrion pits, pigsties. Sorry, Ignatius, am I boring you or something? Are we keeping you from anything important? There he goes. Go on, I don't have all day.
That was just a kind of little favour for me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jda with their carcasses.
See how the range just teleported into his hands.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop 'em up and haul 'em off. I mean, you'll scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
And then Satan himself appeared in the sky. Happens all the time.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right. I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly.
So a couple of pigs have died. Ignatius reckons they've been poisoned. The farmer's wife swears they were cursed by Satan. 2 pigs dying is actually a fairly significant economic burden for a small farm like this. It's probably the only 2 pigs they had. Let's go and see what the damage is. Yeah, they don't have a huge amount of livestock. So let's have a look at the bodies. Oh, there's one. Female by the look of it. Let's get her bagged and tagged.
Yeah. And another.
So there's another dead pig around here somewhere, but we'll get this one in the back of the wagon, then we'll find the other one. Now, where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Wow, that's in a nasty old state. I mean, the other one just looked dead, but this one looks like it's actually already started decomposing. What the hell killed these pigs? Well, we'll get it bagged in the back of the wagon, and then we'll go and take a look.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's not pleasant,
This
is
is
it?
disgusting.
We'll go and take a look at the stream. Runs around the back of the farm cottage, because Ignatius did say that the farmer's wife let them wallow in the stream out there, and I'm willing to bet they ate something they shouldn't have. So let's check that out. I'm relatively sure that they weren't cursed by Satan.
Those pigs came here to drink. Where to now? I can smell something upstream.
Alright, let's check out upstream. Also, Mutt's barking at something up there, and Mutt's a fairly good indication of trouble. What's the matter, Mutt?
Search.
What do you see? Generally, if Mutt starts barking and growling in a direction, get your weapon out, because it could be wolves, it could be bandits, it could be dead deer. Oh, that explains it. Rotten carcasses in the water. If the pigs were drinking from the water downstream of this, I mean, that would explain it. They'll easily pick up a fatal infection. Well, mystery solved. Turns out it wasn't Satan. Surprising though it may seem, Beelzebub has apparently better things to do than worrying about cursing a couple of pigs.
It really wasn't a curse. There are rotting carcasses in the water upstream from the watering spot. No wonder the pigs caught some disease.
Well, what do you know? I was right. I'll give you a hand. It'd take you all night on your own.
Oh, so we're getting rid of the deer carcasses in the stream as well. Well, that makes sense. I mean, that is our job. He is the Knacker as well as the gravedigger, disposing of... Maybe I shouldn't tell him about the wolf that we left in the abandoned farmhouse. Otherwise he'd have me go back there and bag that as well. Yeah, what he doesn't know ain't going to hurt him. Well, what he doesn't know ain't going to hurt me. It's not going to make more work for me either. Ignatius, you want to get into this wagon? Come on. I don't have all day.
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
Nice work. There's even a bit of meat left for me.
Yeah, you'd eat that. They've been lying there God knows how long.
But nicely in the cold. There's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, you won't be eating it, so don't worry about it. Let's keep going.
But there clearly is something wrong with it, because it poisoned and killed the two pigs that drank from the water downstream from the... Oh, whatever, fine. He's obviously got a stronger stomach than I do.
So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature, so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
We're talking about a wild dog that's bothering somebody's chickens, right?
Well, what can I do? But I doubt I'll feel good about it.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Vizar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me.
Wait, we're not even... So, it's a domestic dog, and it's the neighbours who want it killed. I mean, if this was the greengrocer asking Ignatius to turn up and put down his dog for him, for whatever reason, I mean, that would be one thing. I can't say I'd be too happy about doing that either. But it's not even the greengrocer himself. It's the greengrocer's neighbours who want his dog taken care of, and we're supposed to do it without the greengrocer noticing. I'm not sure about this.
Sakra! The dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to?
And why didn't he take the chicken with him? That's unusual. I mean, I'll have it. Or rather, Mutt will have it. So which way did he go? I wonder if Mutt can track him.
Track!
Don't have anything for him to track. Alright, so the dog's run off. Oh, I hear barking.
Barking? It's coming from over there.
That has to be it, surely. I really don't want to kill this dog. I mean, you know, for reasons that should be bloody obvious. I mean, as far as I can tell, it just barks a lot and the neighbours don't like the noise. Well, tough titty. I'm not killing a dog just because it barks. But what am I going to do? I mean, I need to get Ignatius to show me... Hang on, who's that? Somebody there with the dog. Hang on a minute. I know you. That's Bonnie. That's one of Chrysal's thieves.
Where'd you come from?
Bonnie? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
The gravedigger wants me to poison that dog.
Jesus! And are you going to do it?
Well, what else can I do? You're the one who sent me to Ignatius. You just tactfully neglected to mention that when you and Zinnek were acting as his hands, you robbed half the houses in the county.
Shit. It's all gone sour.
This is all I have left to do before he takes me to the saltpeter pit.
And couldn't you find the pit without that? Just take a look at that poor creature. I'd like to keep him in place of my poor dead sniffer.
You surely know how to pick him. Your poor creature is terrorizing the whole area.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zinnek and I were here last, I saw how old Vysarik treats him. He doesn't give him food, he abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Absolutely not, no. Why don't you take him?
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out how to save that dog. If you want to take him, I won't stop you.
You're a much better Christian than I thought you were. I'll take him to the lair. We'll meet there.
Hurry off now, before someone sees us together.
Come on now, boy. You're like
Alright, problem solved. Bonnie's happy. Dog's taken care of without me having to actually kill it. And Ignatius doesn't have to know that I didn't actually kill it. As far as he's concerned, the dog's gone. Because the dog's gone. So it's all good.
It's taken care of.
Taken care of? What do you mean?
The dog is dead. So, can we go to the pit now?
Dead, eh? And what are you so nervous about?
Well, it wasn't pleasant to watch. I did it exactly how you told me. I poisoned him.
Oh, aye. And how did it go exactly?
Well, I dipped the meat in poison. He ate it, and peacefully departed to doggy heaven.
So, it all went how it should. I use a real strong mixture so the creatures don't suffer too much. He's done for, the beast. Finally. Let's go before we start looking suspicious.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy. Slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
I was expecting some huge hole in the ground. This is just some hollow. 3 piles of earth and that's it.
3 huge piles, you mean to say? True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more nitre you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. The miller will probably send some people here.
Well, they'd better not dig it all up. That'd disturb the natural balance, see? And soon they'll find out there's no place to find saltpeter.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I'll still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I've got a reward for you. Just so's you don't think old Ignatius and his even older nags is ungrateful riffraff. Take it as a thanks for your help. Maybe you'll take over my trade one day when I'm pushing up daisies myself.
Who knows? Maybe that'll really be my fate. I'll live at the cemetery, build piles of carcasses, and eat bread with saltpeter.
Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it.
You received Knacker's gloves. These are actually really good stealthy thieving gloves. They're certainly better than the ones that I currently have, if I even have any. Let's check them out. Here we go. Perfect for grave digging, or perhaps even thieving. Yep. They're going to come in handy, just not right now. First, I've got to taste it to make sure it is actually saltpeter and not just salt.
Look at me. From a lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold and salty. This must be it.
Yep, that's it. The reason you have to taste it is because it could just be salt.
If you're going back to your cottage, I'd like to take a ride with you.
Of course. But in return, you have to help me get all this lot buried. So there's some more saltpeter in the making.
Because the way to tell potassium nitrate from sodium chloride, regular salt, is they both taste salty, because they're both salts, but potassium nitrate will have a sort of cool, cold flavour on the tongue. And that's how you can tell the difference. So we've confirmed pitful of potassium nitrate or saltpeter. So Miller Kreisel's going to be happy. I wonder how much longer he's going to keep stringing me along this whole flower golem bullshit, because I know he's making gunpowder. Well, I know he's making gunpowder because it's bloody obvious. Pennu, he doesn't have the faintest idea. He doesn't know the difference. He still thinks we're making a golem.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskowitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Crazel, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then, what's the next task then, Crazel?
From behind the closed gates of Trotsky come quiet whispers, carried by the wind, all the way here to me in the mill. Do you hear it too?
Credit where credit's due, Kreisel is one hell of a bullshitter.
Can you get to the point? What's this about?
Scribe Erezim received a trunk from Prague, and in that trunk was...
The document of Hermes Trismegistos?
No, a book. From an author more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance, but the treasure's inside. You might say it's kind of an alchemical cookbook.
So I'm gonna have to pick some locks again, eh? And in the castle, no less. I'd like to know how I'm supposed to get in there. Trotsky is shut tight.
For some. The gates of Trotsky may appear to be closed to us, mere mortals. But why try to force your way in when there's a person they'll invite in themselves?
What person?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got the Samine wedding coming up. I can't wait to try out my new potion against drunkenness there. What about you? You still need to get there?
Certainly. It's why I decided to work for you. Or have you forgotten? I hope your promise still stands.
Of course it does. What do you take me for? Start getting ready. You've almost got a fine outfit, I see. But it still could be a lot better. Ad charisma tuendum. Say a prayer to St. Paul. Maybe he'll send you a few nice things from heaven.
So you'll really get me into that wedding? Am I dreaming?
No, you're not. But before you start celebrating, we won't be going by ourselves. We'll have company. Or, to be more exact, the two of us will be accompanying a certain person. Me as a friend and host, and you as a bodyguard, loyal servant. Call it what you will.
It'll be some female, right?
Correct. But not just any female. A true lady will come to the wedding with us. Radiant as the morning star, refined as pure gold. All will be stunned by her beauty, and she'll be our lockpick that will find the weak spot in the gate to Trotsky. All it'll take is a little push, and clunk! The lock will open, and the book will be mine.
What weak spot?
The castle's weak spot is Chamberlain Ulrich, because he himself has a weakness for women. Of all the single damsels at the wedding, ours will be the most charming and irresistible for him. Noble or not, he's a mortal man, and he'll start to think with his male member. We will watch as he becomes feverish with lust. Soon he'll be begging to take our companion to Trotsky. He'll pretend his motives are pure, so she'll be more comfortable. And when the Chamberlain becomes insistent, you, as her personal bodyguard, will accept his offer. Naturally, you'll say you won't leave her side so you can defend her honor. Once in Trotsky, Ulrich will do everything to get you to leave him alone with her. And that will be your chance.
I can hardly believe that you, of all people, would come up with such a straightforward plan.
Well, it's not all that straightforward. I admit there's a certain element here that makes everything more complicated. First, we have to find our gracious lady.
Here it comes.
What?
Look, she doesn't have to be a lady per se. We just need a wench with a pretty face. We'll get her a nice dress, some perfume. She doesn't even have to speak. We'll do the talking.
So some bathhouse wench would do?
Aye, that should work. You can find lots of capable girls at the Zhelyaoff baths, including some who aren't so well known. It's true, Dorothy can be a bit unpleasant, but you'll be giving her an offer she can't refuse.
Well, the last time I dealt with her getting your disguise washed, she was quite delightful.
You'll tell her I'm offering enough groschen to buy 2 cows or a small cottage. That should soften her up.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Excellent. You're a talented, likable youngster, like Knight Roland of yore. I have complete faith in you. And don't forget, we're going to need to dress the girl up and make her smell nice so she comes across like a real lady. So, Stop off at Troskowitz as well and get her a nice brocade dress and some long-lasting perfume. Mintha would be ideal.
There's a lot more of this, but while Kreisel definitely loves the sound of his own voice, I'm starting to get sick of it, so we're going to cut it short there. I need to find a companion to take to the wedding in order to get into the good graces of the filthy, lecherous old Chamberlain. I need to get a nice dress for her from the tailor in Troskowitz. Hopefully he's restocked, because I ripped him off of everything valuable that he had. And I need to organise some kind of perfume. And I might actually be able to make it myself, since I do a bit of alchemy. Although I'm going to have to source the ingredients. But anyway, we've got a list of stuff to do, upon the successful conclusion of which we should have our ticket into the wedding at Samine, which means we get to speak to Lord von Berghoff. All of that coming up in a future episode. In the meantime, hope you've enjoyed this one, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.